Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland is sheriff of Terrell County, Texas, and Chris Clem is a former Border Patrol chief in Yuma, Arizona. So first, let me start with you, Sheriff. Thoughts on Heather's report, ICE making this arrest, and the people around there cussing and yelling and taking videos of the ICE officers.
Hi, Edie. Great to be on with you. Chris, good to see you. Edie, I got to tell you, Chris and I started working together about 25 years ago as Border Patrol agents out here in West Texas. But look, as far as the reporting, and like we've seen across the United States, ICE, Border Patrol, we have the authority to carry out the Immigration Nationality Act and make arrests like these. I will say, however, that, trying to use your situation to your advantage, that's not a place I'd necessarily want to make an arrest with a lot of people around. I was surprised you didn't see more people, cussing, it maybe throwing stuff at the agents. I'm glad we didn't see that, but still hearing some of those comments in the background, certainly discouraging. Seeing what Gavin Newsom said, also adding more political rhetoric to it. I do think things can be done differently. But again, support them being in those airports assisting TSA.
San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie said in a statement, like many San Franciscans, I found the incident at SFO last night upsetting. Under our city's longstanding policies, local law enforcement does not participate in federal civil immigration enforcement. Those policies will keep us safe and will not change as long as I'm mayor. Now, as Heather was pointing out, this arrest was totally unrelated to the president's deployment of ICE officers to airports. They weren't even at that airport. This happened before that order even came through. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, though, he's among the top Democrats who said that the decision to put what he called untrained ICE agents could jeopardize traveler safety by brutalizing or even killing Americans. Chris, how difficult does it make the job for not just ICE agents, but any kind of federal agent when you hear stuff like that?
Good morning, Edie, and good morning, Thad. Look, these comments are exactly what we expect from these progressive Democrats. It's been playing out. It's getting, ridiculous. But, what Speaker Jeffries said is like saying a heart surgeon cannot perform first aid. These ICE agents, these federal law enforcement agents, have all the training they need to do the job. And as we've learned, they're there to assist the orderly flow of American people traveling in the United States. And we do know, as of this morning, they will make arrests of criminals, traffickers, smugglers that are encountered when they're doing their job. But this continuous nonsense that's put out by these Democratic leaders, this mayor, what I find disruptive to the community is somebody that has been in the country illegally with a federal order of removal for 7 years, living amongst the United States citizens and thinking they can operate with impunity. I'm glad ICE did their operations. I'm glad they made those arrests. And people like this family that's been living here illegally for 7 years ignored due process. And I'm glad they made those arrests. So the rhetoric does make it difficult, but they're not going to stop doing their job.
Yeah, Sheriff, we also hear a lot of talk about, well, the ICE agents are untrained for this. They have said that where they're using them is areas where you really don't need to have much training. A lot of these TSA agents sit at the exit. So like after you get off a flight and you go out the exit and you can't come back in, that part, those are the TSA agents that they're being able to replace with ICE, or the folks who stand at the very front and say, let me check your ID. That's it. So the idea that they'd be going there to somehow be scouting for illegal immigrants doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, does it? But it muddies the message for people.
It certainly does, Edie. I think you laid that out well. It coupled with the comment that Chris said as far as a heart surgeon administering basic, EMT type skills. That's a great analogy, and it's so true. Look, whether it's Border Patrol, whether it's ICE, of course, we haven't seen Border Patrol sent out. But again, we're able to go out there and handle law enforcement issues. We're able to assist with the crowd, or like you said again, Edie, having someone posted an exit door to ensure someone doesn't come back in through that exit door. So yes, there's many more things other than just the running of the X-ray machine, running their computer systems to check people that ICE can and is helping out with.
Yeah, Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland, Chris Clem, great both to talk to y'all again. Appreciate your time.